Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on over to watch another We Go Podcast YouTube video. Don't forget, you can find the audio version of the What Else Is Going On podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. Episodes come out every Tuesday and Friday. All right. So I wanted to talk about what else is going on, y'all, with some Bravo celebrities and some that I thought were kind of like, I didn't see that coming. The first one, Margaret Josephs and Heather Gay. But before we get into it, y'all may notice that my background is different. So normally I record in front of the fireplace. But I'm gonna be honest. So normally, well, not normally, but it's y'all have seen those in homes. It's the fireplace, and then the TV is right above it, like with a build out, right? That's like what we have. So there's chairs in front of it. So I can have that ambiance of the fireplace. I move the chair, and then I carry my y'all, I'm having a brain feast. I carry the tray and everything, my computer over and set it up every time I want to record so I can have the fireplace in the background. I didn't feel like it this evening. I was tired. So what I did was I decided to drag the tray where I keep my computer. It's normally in the corner in my living room, drag it over just into the middle of the walkway and that accent wall behind me. I have two chairs, a little alcove, you can sit, we can have our coffee, a little intimate conversations and all that. I drag one of those chairs over because I was like, I don't feel like picking up the chair to placement. The hubby is out still working. He'll be home soon. And normally if I didn't feel like it, he would just be like, let me just put it over there. But I didn't feel like it tonight. So y'all probably will see all different parts of my house by the time, as YouTube continues to go on and on. But let's talk about Margaret Josephs and Heather Gay. So according to Reality Blurb, RHONJ's Margaret Josephs reveals why Heather Gay doesn't like her, and like is in quotes, and dishes on awkward encounter with the RHOSLC. I say that right, RHOSLC star at BravoCon. Margaret Joseph shared why Heather Gay doesn't like her, and she revealed an awkward encounter with her at BravoCon when the Real Housewife of Salt Lake City star wouldn't make eye contact. Heather likes to paint herself the hero, fighting against mean girls, but is her true personality more complicated? I'm not saying this. This is what Reality Blurb is saying, okay? I mean, I have said my share of things back when Salt Lake City first started. But anyway, y'all could go back and listen to old podcast episodes to verify that. Um, more and more Bravo Lebs are coming out against her, suggesting she isn't so kind when the cameras are out of sight. Heather Gay happens to not like me, Margaret Joseph said on Jeff Lewis Live in a clip shared on Instagram. She got mad at me because I was on like a page 6 thing, and they said, is it thirsty or not that Heather didn't say where she got the black eye? We all know last season, Heather claimed she didn't know how she got a black eye, but she later suggested that a producer might have done it. At the recent reunion, however, she admitted to lying and said it was Jen Shaw, a convicted criminal. And that was last year. And I said, yeah, that was thirsty. So Margaret is saying last year she was asked on page 6 if she thought it was thirsty that Heather lied about the black eye. Margaret said, yeah, it was thirsty. She said, you just answer questions when you're asked them. Margaret believes Heather was totally offended. I said hi to her at BravoCon. She wouldn't make eye contact. Margaret said she was like, okay, let's stop. For years, castmates have accused Heather of being elitist, wagging her finger at anyone she thinks is below her. At this point, can we trust anything she says? That last part was by Reality Blurb. So we know that. So Margaret has spoken out and said that Heather wasn't so nice to her. Dorinda didn't speak out and say Heather wasn't so nice to her, but Heather didn't like that Dorinda didn't like that Heather lied on production and these different things. So I haven't heard of any other housewife saying that about Heather, but maybe I missed it. So I wonder if Heather's going to come out and say something back. I could see her coming out saying, oh my gosh, no, playing that role that I think she plays sometimes. But anyway, shout out to Heather and Margaret. Speaking of, when is Jersey coming back? I'm just curious. I didn't really watch last season. I watched some episodes, but it was like, but I may watch this season because I said it before and I'll say it again. When they were talking about who is coming back, who wasn't, bring Melissa back, don't bring Melissa back, bring Teresa back, don't bring Teresa back. I wanted them to bring them both back and let their real relationship play out. Melissa, act how you truly feel about Teresa and vice versa. None of this, let's get along for the cameras, or because you married to my brother. None of that. Let's get the real, if that's even a thing. So I'm kind of a little bit looking forward to watching this season, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into Kyle and Mauricio. Kyle Richards shares if she's returning to RHOBH, status with Mauricio and their living situation, plus update on relationship with Kathy Hilton. Kyle Richards isn't sure she'll return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for its upcoming 14th season. After her marital drama with estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, became a major storyline on season 13, Kyle explained why she's hesitant to go back, shared her living situation with Mauricio, and offered an update on her once strained relationship with older sister Kathy. Each year I say, I don't know, never say never, and all of that, but I honestly just don't know yet, Kyle admitted on the February 9th episode of E! News. I don't know where my life is going to be at in a week or two. I don't know what it's going to be like when the cameras go up again, where my life is going to be at and what I'm comfortable with. It's funny. So clearly she knows that she would be asked back, for her to say, I don't know if I'm coming back. I don't know if I'd even be asked back. While Kyle has been accused of being secretive about her marital status with Mauricio, she explained that her lack of discussion about the topic was simply because she was unsure of her relationship herself. It feels like everybody wants to know and that they feel they are entitled to every detail of my life because I've been showing my life and sharing my life with everybody for 13 years. No, Kyle, they're asking you because you ask about your castmate's life on camera. So now you're on camera and they're asking about what they see online. Just be honest, Kyle. Anyway, and who knows? She could be being honest by saying, I don't know where we're at right now. So she said, it's not that I'm lying or withholding. I'm figuring it out still, she noted. Even now, Kyle said she isn't confident about what the future may hold for her and Mauricio. I don't have the answers. They think I'm teasing them, dragging it out. I'm doing this for ratings. I'm figuring it out right now, and we are figuring it out as a couple, and I'm figuring out what I need myself. Okay, so she's saying people are thinking she's dragging it out. She's doing it for ratings, but she's not. She's figuring it out as she is going along. And when I know and we know where our life is going next, you're going to know. As she and Mauricio attempt to figure out their marriage, the two of them have been doing their best to maintain a united front for their family, including daughters Farrah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia. We're not a toxic couple. We live under the same roof in different rooms. We do have other homes. Thank God we're fortunate in that sense. But even when we're all there, it's texting in the family chat. What time is everyone going to be home for dinner? Still, when it comes to their relationship, Kyle said, oh, y'all, sorry, my laundry. Kyle said, we're each allowed to do what we want to do, which is very strange, but I don't ask. As for her relationship with Kathy, which saw the two of them making amends last summer after a drama-filled season 12, Kyle confirmed the two of them are in a good place. She's been so supportive, and I get messages from her all the time. I get phone calls at 4:30 in the morning when she knows I'm just waking up and she hasn't gone to bed yet. So she's saying she doesn't know she's going to come back. I think I would bet money that she's coming back. It is interesting, though, that she said that her and Mauricio live in the same house in separate rooms and they're each allowed to do what they want. I think that's kind of interesting. They don't ask. So who knows? But she said they're trying to figure it out. Honestly, at the end of the day, no matter how I feel about Kyle, what have you, I hope that she finds a true happiness if she's not, or feels settled. You know what I mean? She's been with him for a long time, and it has to be scary a little bit, kind of saying, this is the old life that I had. I'm not even sure if I want this. I don't even know if I'm going to have this. Does he even want it? So I do wish her and her family the best for sure. Speaking of breakups, y'all have heard it. Seems like it went down during the Super Bowl yesterday. Real Housewives of Miami star Lisa Pippen unfollows Marcus Jordan and deletes all his pics amid split rumors as he reunites with dad Michael. Plus, she shares cryptic posts about choosing the wrong partner. This is all according to Reality Blurb. Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan have seemingly split. at least if their social media activity is any indication. After about a year and a half of dating and months of rumors regarding their potential agreement, the Real Housewives of Miami star and Marcus, son of basketball legend Michael Jordan, have unfollowed one another on their Instagram pages, with Larsa also deleting their past photos together and sharing a cryptic message with her fans and followers. In a screenshot, Larsa is nowhere to be found on Marcus's following list on IG, and the same can be said for Marcus on Larsa's list. Meanwhile, in screenshots of Larsa's account, all of the photos she previously had of her and Marcus have been removed. Larsa also fueled breakup rumors by asking her fans and followers, should your friends unfollow your ex? As Marcus reunited with dad Michael, who made it clear he did not approve of their romance last summer. Also on her Instagram story, Larsa shared a cryptic message about choosing the right partner. The man you choose to be your partner affects everything in your life: your mental health, your peace of mind, your love inside you, your happiness, how you get through tragedy, success, how your children will be raised, and much more. Choose wisely, the message advised. Larsa and Marcus's apparent split comes just weeks after Larsa appeared on Watch What Happens Live and gushed to host Andy Cohen about their great relationship and spoke of their sex life. I have sex 5 times a night with the love of my life, she shared during her January appearance. Girl, Larsa's not one of my favorites, clearly. There are moments when I'm like, I see you, Larsa. She has moments of clarity when she's talking about Lisa and the way she's dealing with the group and her divorce from Lenny. Like, Larsa has sense when she wants to have sense. A lot of people thought that this was an arrangement for her, a storyline. Sometimes you wonder that, but then you think, would they really want to get their kids involved? You know, even like with Juan and Robin, I feel like it's an arrangement for them. Listen, we allow our relationship to progress in quotes on the show. So we keep getting seasons, so we keep getting this money. But then I'm like, would people really involve their kids in that? And that's how I feel about Larsa and Marcus. She would really involve her kids, but who knows, maybe, you know, when people want to be famous, want to be on TV or need that check, they will do whatever they can do to hold on to it, depending upon who it is. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Did y'all think that it was real? What's going to happen to the podcast? Child. Anyway, so we shall see. Because then I guess next season, if she came back to Miami, what it would be about her healing from the breakup. Child. Anyway, let's talk about Lanithia Nene Leakes. According to Radar Online, ex-Real Housewife of Atlanta star Nene Leakes, accused of owing 5-figure tax debt weeks after being ordered to pay $25K over unpaid rent. Former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Nene Leakes was hit with a state tax execution by the Georgia Department of Revenue. According to the document obtained by who else? Radar Online. The reality star initially owed $17,785.22 in taxes for various years. However, the document showed the debt swelled to $28,593.24 due to interest and fees. Why? Like, why y'all got to add on all those fees? If the person can't pay the document listed Nene's name and the Lanithia LLC, which appears to be connected to her now closed lounge in Georgia. The tax issue comes weeks after Nene was ordered to pay $25K in a lawsuit brought by former landlord of her since shuttered swag boutique. The landlord claimed the Bravo star signed a lease in 2017 and extended it by a year in 2021. She said Nene vacated the premises in January of 2022, but failed to pay $22K owed in unpaid rent. Y'all remember when that story first came out and Nene said Greg signed the lease, not her? So it's interesting that she's being held responsible. In the suit, the landlord claimed to have tried to collect the money from Nene, but she refused to pay. Nene was served with legal paperwork on August 16th, 2023, while outside her $1 million condo in Atlanta. The reality star said she was not responsible for rent owed. Nene claimed her late husband, Greg, signed the lease. Greg died on September 1st at the age of 66 after a long battle with cancer. I believe it was September 1st of 2022, I believe. Despite being served, Nene failed to respond to the lawsuit. As a result, the judge ordered her to pay $22K in unpaid rent and $2,315 in attorney fees and another $400 in court costs. So I wonder if she had have responded and been like, my husband did this, would she have still been found liable if she presented that argument? I would think, because doesn't your spouse's debt become your debt if you pass away? I'm not sure how that works with all debts, but that's interesting. Last year, Nene was also hit with a lawsuit by a company named Photography by Ace. Now, y'all remember that? The suit said Nene hired their photographer to take photos at the Lanithia Lounge, but failed to pay invoices submitted. A judge granted the company a default judgment. On top of her financial issues, Nene had to deal with her son, Bryson Brent, being arrested for possession of fentanyl last year. The ex-Real Housewife of Atlanta's oldest son was recently released from jail. So he got out. He was thrown behind bars after his arrest triggered a probation violation in a previous criminal case. So it looks like Nene has a lot going on. And I wonder if that's why she's over to Zeus now, trying to take care of some of this debt and bring in some income. And I hope this doesn't sound insensitive, but I wonder if Greg had life insurance, and if he did she just maybe blow through it, or does she just not want to pay the money out and was hoping that because it was in Greg's name that she wouldn't be responsible? I don't know. Nene has a lot going on over there. We shall see, and we'll see if she continues to do more work with Zeus. Shout out to my boo Dan. Hey Dan. I didn't realize, he told me that Nene was at the Super Bowl with the owner of the Zeus network and some of the baddies. I said, cha. Nene is really in with the Zeus family now. So we'll see what is going on. Y'all, let's talk about Vanderpump Rules, which I believe comes on tonight. Raquel and Tom. According to Reality Blurb, Raquel Leviss discusses letter that led her to end things with Tom Sandoval and slams Vanderpump Rules star as a narcissistic a-hole. Rachel Raquel Leviss opened up about what led her to end her relationship with Tom Sandoval on the latest episode of her podcast. As she looked back on a package she received from her now ex-flame during her months-long stint in a mental health treatment, the Vanderpump Rules alum shared how Sandoval insulted her and proved he did not love her, while also labeling him a narcissistic a-hole who targeted her with love bombing amid their sordid affair, which began amid season 10 in 2022. When I was at the Meadows, Tom and I would send letters to each other. So I got a big package. There were 3 items in there: a friendship lamp where you tap it and it changes colors, Bluetooth connected, 1 lamp per person. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's actually a really cool gift. And then the second thing was in the box. And then the second thing that was in the box was an Us magazine. I guess the US Weekly magazine, and we were on the front cover in a little square on the top right. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to be on the cover of a magazine. I didn't think it was going to be like this, but still cool. Now, time out. She's in a mental health facility dealing with the fallout of their affair being revealed. And he sends her Us Weekly magazine with him and her on it that was talking about the affair. Okay. And the third item that was in there was a letter Raquel revealed on the February 10th episode of Rachel Goes Rogue. After saving the letter for later, Rachel ultimately began reading it and came to a big realization. I started feeling sick to my stomach because the letter was so insulting to me and the work that I was doing at this treatment facility. He was basically saying, in all the years that I've known you, I've never seen you so dependent on a place. And he was trying to convince me to leave the Meadows and come back to him. According to Raquel, she knew she wasn't ready to leave treatment at the time and expressed to Sandoval that she didn't think she was safe to herself at that point. She didn't think she was safe to herself if she left at that point. He tried to convince me to leave anyway. And that's when I really knew that this person does not love me and that this is a love bomb tactic to try to have this control over me. While Rachel initially wanted to reach out to Sandoval to explain why she was no longer interested in pursuing a relationship with him, her therapist advised her against doing so. So I just didn't call him again and I blocked his number. And, some people would consider that ghosting. And I think he was hurt by it because, he didn't get any closure, she explained. Child, so he tried to get her to leave the treatment facility. Have y'all listened to her podcast? I have not, and I don't think I'll be making my way over there, but I was wondering if any of you have. I've seen mixed reviews. I've seen people that have said they listened to it and they actually enjoyed it. And then there were some that said they had to put it on like 1.5 to speed it up because the talking was a little slow. Who knows? Do y'all think, for those of you that have listened, if you have, and I guess even if you haven't, do you think she's being fed like the stuff that she's saying? Um, I was gonna say because it sounds really self-aware and smart, but I don't think she was ever really not smart when it came to some things. I think she didn't have the best communication skills, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? I think it's interesting because was it on the after show last week, I believe, the Vanderpump Rules after show, which y'all should check out. They're not long, like 15 or 20 minutes, I think. He said that he was in love with Rachel. I don't know. How are y'all enjoying the season so far? I know it's only been 2 episodes in. What do y'all think about Ariana? Do y'all think she is unreasonable while living with him? Do you think she should just cut her losses and move on? What do y'all think? Y'all, thank you so much again for coming over and listening to me chat. Let me know your thoughts on all the things we discussed, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.